Let's embrace innovative volunteerism.
Join me in welcoming Dr. Munang as he proceeds with his session. You are much welcome, Dr. Munang. You have the floor now.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the generous introduction. It's quite a great pleasure to be here today with you guys to discuss climate action leadership as personal responsibility and the stake in which you have in this. The little ditch that goes out comes back. That's an African proverb. And this African proverb captures what we are witnessing today. As the finalists for the 2021 Green Grants are set to be crowned, we are witnessing the first step in the journey of reciprocal generosity. A lot of investment as we speak today, in terms of time, in terms of material, emotion, intellect, has gone into scouting, vetting, shortlisting, and awarding all the award winners and participants of the Green Grant. And as the ball now shifts to the awardees, the one question that urgently needs to be answered today is this: will there be dividends after all the selfless hard work by the 11-11-12 Foundation? Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, he who wants to plant corn must make peace with the monkeys. This amusing African proverb is an insightful reminder that these dividends we all desire are not automatic. They will require that we treasure, understand, and implement some special attributes that are characteristic of leadership as displayed by some of the most intriguing animals God ever created on earth. Like a lion, we will be called upon to understand our territory and act within it like our lives depends on it. By territory here, I mean context. Each of us must have a very clear understanding of Africa's context. We behave sometimes as if we are living in space. We must understand our continent, Africa's context, if we are to succeed. And this context is defined by one fundamental logic: turning adversity into opportunities. Regardless of who you ask across the entire globe, Africa is a continent associated with adversity. From the 257 million people made hungry, to the high youth unemployment, where Africa needs to create no less than 12 million jobs each and every year, to harboring least competitive economies, where Africa's economies are up to 20 times less productive than competitors in the global space, to being one of the most vulnerable continents to climate change. This region is already exposed to climate change, and the risks are projected to cost Africa's economy up to 75% of incomes, compared to a global average loss of 23%. Adversity does indeed overshadow Africa. Yes, it does. Every bad news seems to be in Africa. The mass media has been particularly effective in projecting this adversarial image. We, as the sons and daughters of this continent, have also joined in through consistent blame game, what I call the passing the buck syndrome. It is not uncommon for most of us, being fully aware of the challenges we face, we fold our arms and blame government for those who, as we absolve ourselves of any responsibility. It is also not uncommon for those in government sometimes to resort to asking for help from others, ignoring even what they have within their countries. And all this while the challenges remain unresolved. These solutions vacuum define our context and territory, and those who mark it with competitive, affordable, and accessible solutions that touch many lives, just as a lion marks its territory, are the ones who will produce a dividend. And as I speak, I will really appreciate if you can listen through very carefully, because I know that after the discussion, you'll be asking questions which I have answered here. Please, just stay attentive and listen to every word that I am saying here. The second attribute that we have to discuss is an attribute that is quite very, very important. And this attribute is important for so many reasons. It's an attribute that has to do with what we can be able to offer. And that attribute is what an eagle is famous for. It's called vision. It is called vision. And it's called vision for a reason. While all birds of prey have excellent long-distance vision, eagles are exceptional. They can see clearly about 8 times as far as humans can. An eagle can spot and focus on small prey as far as 3 kilometers away. Such outstanding of vision is what we are all called out to do tonight, what I call an eye for solutions through innovative volunteerism across the African continent. A model, we are seeing young people across the continent develop this eye for solutions, leveraging on climate action lens. Through structural guidance combined with their selflessness and inspiration, they are developing and decentralizing simple climate action solutions to turn the continent's high post-harvest losses of up to $48 billion each year into income and food secure homes. They are leveraging climate action solutions to provide clean cooking solutions, which are a sustainable alternative to the $20 billion a year charcoal subsector. And these are not capital-intensive solutions. They do not need a lot of money. For example, these young people have been guided to work with local farmers in communities, just clustering them into groups and developing simple solar dryers to enable them add value. These solar dryers are enhancing food safety by lowering incidences of dangerous aflatoxin by up to 53%, ensuring not only availability of safe food to enhance food security and health of communities, but also enabling farmers to increase shelf life of perishables, thus cutting post-harvest losses. All this has resulted in incomes by up to 30 times, while lowering emissions by over 200,000 tons related to an alternative fossil fuel-driven value addition solution. On clean cooking, these young people are decentralizing climate action solutions of waste recovery to clean cooking fuel solutions, which are 2 times cheaper than charcoal. These briquettes are also smokeless, making them a healthier alternative towards reversing indoor pollution that kills over 600,000 Africans each and every year. In addition, consuming firewood is a major driver of deforestation and land degradation in Africa, which costs up to 65 million per year. These young people are doing their fair share in recouping these losses for the continent. Analysis from a report that was released by UNEP and FAO just 2 weeks ago shows that $1 invested in restorative actions meant to protect against degradation will result in $30 return. These young people are contributing to Africa's realization of these benefits through simple waste to energy solutions. This is the kind of vision of seeing solutions where others see challenges that will unlock dividend from all the finalists here today. The environmental and climate action you propagate must be from the lens of unlocking competitive solutions that touches many lives. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, the third attribute is the discipline of an oxen. Well-trained oxen can plow on a yoke for 5 hours with no complaints. We are in a continent that complains a lot. We cannot pretend to find pleasure in complaining. It's absurd. This endurance of an oxen, the persistence and consistency is the hallmark of discipline we must all endure. This hallmark of discipline that underpins success in any venture must be our watch and matching words from today, because that is the only way we can build dividend for Africa's progress, and discipline is the key word. To crown it all, we have the last attribute, which is us human beings, the human face, which represents wisdom and logic. Scriptures admonishes us in Proverbs chapter 16, verse 16, saying, how much better to get wisdom than gold? To get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver. That's what scriptures tell us. In other words, we must seek wisdom more than silver and gold. Just take a minute and reflect on the weightiness of wisdom. It is no wonder that wisdom must be the crowning jewel of the attributes that will ensure we get a dividend out of the investment that has been put forward by 11-11-12 Foundation. Another foundation of wisdom is what I like calling protecting the nucleus. This simply means one thing: being very careful not to allow anything to jeopardize your quest to become a selfless solution provider. Let this quest for solutions overtake you, not complaining about everything, as we've been met to do in this continent. With these 4 attributes, ladies and gentlemen, I am calling you to leadership today. I'm calling you to leadership today, not the classical leadership that is associated with positions, but rather leadership that draws from a state of being a serverless solution provider. And to get you going, I will leave you with the following principles and take this very seriously to enable you to cultivate the leadership attributes I have just shared. And the first principle is you must develop your own unborrowed vision. There is a tasteless joke about Africa. It is told of Africa as being a cemetery of policy. Yes, it is true. Without a doubt, the continent has invested significantly in enabling legal and policy frameworks. For example, 52 out of 54 African countries in Africa have ratified the Paris Climate Change Agreement, making Africa the most compliant region globally. These nationally determined contributions of the Paris Agreement balance between mitigation and adaptation commitments. As countries move to submit a second round of the NDCs, already 9 African countries have submitted, with 2 African countries being highlighted as we speak today for submitting stronger targets. And over 40 more have committed to enhance their NDCs. Up to 6 countries have submitted their national adaptation plans to the UNFCCC Secretariat, and more are in the process. Through internal policy prioritization, Africa has invested in climate resilience at a rate of about 2% of their GDP each and every year. All this is in addition to enabling sectoral policies, such as climate-smart agricultural policies, feed-in tariff policies, Climate Change Act, among many others across many countries, all of which are commonplace in this continent. All these diverse policies are waiting to be implemented by you and me. They're waiting for you and me to implement. But however, the constituency of implementers is not only government, as seems to be the case in the minds of many in the continent. It is individuals like you and me, as the innovative volunteerism actors, who are selflessly showing us that implementation of NDCs rests on our shoulders, not on government. It rests on our shoulders to turn the challenges to opportunities, not sitting, complaining, folding our arms and blaming everybody. That behavior must stop, starting today. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at these NDCs and look at what the innovative volunteerism actors have been doing, they're leveraging on nature-based solutions and clean energy in a manner that touches many lives. Each of us must take implementation of these policies as a personal responsibility. We must study the relevant provisions of our respective countries and look for components that we can implement in a way that touches many lives. This is how we catalyze our own unborrowed vision, which we then join with peers who are equally selfless and get to work to implement them. Where a need arises for reskilling, we must use the world of free knowledge on the internet, subscribe to relevant courses, and sharpen our skills to deliver solutions in our chosen areas. That takes me to the second principle. You must leverage on existing platforms to communicate solutions, not complaints. Communicate solutions, not complaining. In today's world, social media is a free tool that can enable you to reach the mass market with unbelievable affordability and effectiveness. If you are not, especially on Twitter as we speak today, to share on the solutions you are delivering to impact more lives, then you will lose on so many opportunities. You will lose on opportunities to build a much needed critical mass of like-minded supporting enterprises and stakeholders. In social media lies your market. In social media lies your business partners. In social media lies your suppliers and all the support structure you need to build a name and a brand of offering on-demand solutions that touch many lives. So get engaged and stop complaining. And that takes me to the third principle and what I call skills retooling. All the finalists here today, and indeed all of us, have a chosen area of interest in climate action. But to remain relevant in today's dynamic economies, we cannot stop at this. Continuous learning is important. Continuous learning must become part and parcel of what we do, so that we all complement what we already know with new knowledge and skills that will move us to the next level of being competitive solution providers. Each of us must take personal initiative. I repeat, we must take personal initiative to train in new areas that will complement our existing skills to better position us to deliver our chosen climate action solutions competitively to touch many lives in our communities. Consequently, taking personal initiative to buy books, to read journals, to research and undertake online courses that will complement your skill set is critical to become a competitive solution provider in today's continuously changing economies. And that takes me to the fourth principle, cultivate real passion. I call passion the new currency of now. Transforming ideas to real-life solutions need passion. Regardless of who we are, if we lack an enduring passion, then we will run out of steam in no time. The biggest gap we face and suffer now is what I call the passion gap, which is needed to drive meaningful development for people and planet. But what ignites passion in the first place is to be attached to a cause that is greater than your individual self. Without passion, you throw money at every problem and waste it and end up with no result. That's what we are seeing in the continent. Passion is the real winner because regardless of what we contribute, if it falls on passionless youth, then no transformation will ever occur in the continent. Let me repeat, no matter what we do, no matter the amount of money we throw on people, if it falls on passionate youth, no transformation will ever occur. And I say this without any fear of contradiction. I built on the experience I see across the entire African continent today. It is people who drive for themselves. We do not do development for people. People do development for themselves. All we can do is to facilitate through our inspirational actions. If we fail to do this, we will be missing out on the biggest enabler of turning sustainability actions into prosperity, which is a self-motivated, self-driven people. That takes me to the last principle, which is self-discipline. Just like a ship without a compass cannot go anywhere, so is a human being without self-discipline. They are like a system experiencing entropy, what could loosely be defined as misguided random energy which cannot accomplish any work. If you want to understand what I am saying more graphically, just imagine an octopus with its many legs walking on roller skates. There will be plenty of movement, but zero displacement, zero progress. In the same vein, each of us today needs self-discipline to develop an unborrowed vision that touches many lives and be selfless to prioritize impacting many lives as opposed to self-serving. Inculcating and continuously enhancing self-discipline should be our singular most important personal objective if we are to action the aspects I have shared today. And at the core of self-discipline is humility, is selflessness, is passion, and not passion to indulge oneself, but what I call purposeful passion that touches many lives beyond your immediate family and your immediate friend. This is how we can harness the willpower. This is how we can harness the resolve, the determination and positive drive inherent in each and every one of us for solutions that touches many lives. Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, if the leader of the hunting party gets tired, then all are tired. This African proverb is a clear admonishment that we cannot afford to faint if we are to achieve our potential as solution leaders driving enterprises that touch many lives. It is in so doing that we will give a worthy dividend to Africa and to this foundation that has invested a lot in our finalists. Let us therefore set forth, sure-footed, and ensure that those principles I share today guide your enterprise action. In so doing, victory will be the inevitable outcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
The time for blame game is over. Yeah. Let's use our talent to work. Yeah. Selflessly diversity solutions that will touch many lives. And let us do so, remembering the words of the scripture in the parable of the